high-speed crash, and it was simply a case of apparently OK but taking no risks.
Yes, that's right. He came out of the tunnel down the hill. He glanced off the right-hand side wall under brakes. That's Jock Clear from BAR. And as he came down the hill, just unfortunately the camera covered up what happened, but he then comes across the road after touching the fence on the right, clouts the wall on the left, and then goes into that barrier, the same area that collected Carl Wendlinger those years ago. Was about 1994.
You want to be, for example, well clear of a Villeneuve, who we believe is one stopping today. You don't want to be feeding out just behind him. He could hold you up. At the moment, you can see the field starting to spread out. Ralf Schumacher leading, Montoya second, Raikkonen third, Trulli fourth, Michael Schumacher after his lap yesterday. A lot of that's obviously dirt, and the fact he's pacing himself a little bit, but still, it shows you the track is that dirty.
Track temperature up 5 degrees since we went on air too, so the track seems as if it's getting a bit slippery. You're right, James, very slow times. The crucial thing though is that Schumacher, Ralf, was a second lap faster than anybody else. Absolutely right. 3 seconds covers the top 3, then Raikkonen can match these Williams. It's all about, as I said earlier, the in-laps, the pit stops, the out-laps, and just how much fuel they've got on. How far can they go? They would only have saved about a half a lap of fuel behind the safety cars, out for a very short. Then Michael Schumacher in the Ferrari, Alonso, Coulthard, and the Barrichello's just a fraction behind them.
Schumacher for the future, and Formula One really on the move at the moment. The peaks of 19,000 RPM that we had last year, but certainly high in the 18s. The Renault not able quite to match that, but the trade-off is that they don't use quite as much fuel. So Juan Montoya just getting closer to the back of Ralf Schumacher at the moment, and one wonders whether he will know, of course, which lap his teammates start going to make his pit stop on. Ralf a bit dodgy on the braking there into the heart of the hairpin. Yeah,
Ralf suddenly looking ragged. Now Montoya's run him down. Last thing he wants is to release Montoya into a good next lap.
And what I was about to say was Montoya will know when Ralph's coming in. That's probably part of the reason he's making a real effort to get onto the tail of Ralf Schumacher, because this is the crucial laps. When he makes his stop, which is probably in a lap or two's time, he'll walk around, drives up the hill. He is in front of him, so it's worked for him. It was those laps, wasn't it? Those attack moment then leading from Trulli. Michael Schumacher third to make the difference. Trulli then, your race leader in the Renault. We came here this weekend expecting great things from Renault. They certainly claimed that they thought they could get themselves on the front row. I thought that they probably would. Didn't quite work out that way, but they were very pleased for Trulli in 4th place on the grid. They're now leading the Grand Prix. Villeneuve yet to make a stop. Down in 12th, Verstappen appears to be running along as well, as is Wilson and Panis, as we expected, down in 15th and 16th places. Sutton, who's come in, is on a 2-stop strategy. There is the option, though, now, definitely the option, to switch to a 1 if anybody thinks they can make it work.
Well, Ferrari had long faces yesterday when they ended up 5th and 7th on the grid. If they'd have known they had 50% more fuel on board than the Williams that were 1st and 3rd on the grid, maybe they wouldn't have been so unhappy. Alonso pits, throwing.
Yeah, we're okay. I mean, it's a difficult one with the strategy. Obviously, we're all trying to do the best thing possible. The Ferraris have surprised everybody a little bit, I think, by ending up going.
Yeah, so you've got Fisichella down in 11th place. He's doing okay. He's lapping in the 17s. What can you do for him now? For the
he ran a bit longer, and I think he might have got us just. It's very close there.
Yeah, Michael Schumacher finally pits then at the end of lap 31. Gary Anderson, of course, technically.
On lap 32 here, he leads by 3.1 seconds from Kimi Raikkonen. Michael Schumacher, though, is just 5.9 seconds behind the race leader, with Ralf Schumacher just behind him, 2.7 seconds in 4th place, and Trulli 5th. It's about thinking your way around this course. The winners here tend to have been people who applied the... Lap 34 of 78 in Monte Carlo. You're riding with last year's race winner, David Coulthard. Spectacular sight, isn't it, as he flashes through the swimming pool. This packed auditorium here at Monaco, a capacity crowd. Look at the grandstands full of people. The harbour is full of boats. It's rocking here in Monaco, and the race isn't bad either. Coulthard is down in 6th place at the Monaco, is now up into 3rd place, and Jarno Trulli down into 5th. Those are crucial moves in what will unfold as the story of this Grand Prix. We ride once again on board with David Coulthard, and Ted has news for us. His confidence is just not quite there. He's not really done it with this new car, has he?
No, Rubens is a man that can let his chin drop a little bit and let outside factors influence him, no doubt about it. And he certainly is not in the sweetest period of his Ferrari career, that's for sure. You're absolutely right. Michael really is walking all over him at the moment in the same car. That's what can Michael do later on. The difference is in the racetrack.
No, it's interesting. He was complaining yesterday after qualifying that he got it wrong because he wasn't very happy with the tyre pressures. They weren't quite balanced the way he wanted them to. And little critical things like that can obviously unbalance you and unbalance the car. As Ralf Schumacher, the tyres he wants, he's got the car under him. And let's not forget, he was extremely fast here last year. A stunning pole lap he set in the BMW Williams. And I think there's a lot of hunger going on with Montoya today as well. I think he really, really wants this. It's been quite a... Not only cost him all this time, but cost him the lead of the race and all these track positions as well. Starting on the main straight. It was when I was a kid, so it's probably before you started racing, but it was well into the late 70s, I think, probably, something like that. There was a bit of a flood in the tunnel because someone left the bath on.
Amazing, I like that one. Down into Sanderbot, then your race leader. And you always have to pay that barrier on the exit of Sanderbot. Lots of respect, especially now that they're able to see it and take more speed through that apex. Now they've taken away the rather intimidating barrier on the inside. But it's so easy to graze that, minding your own business. You think you've got the whole...
They led 2 weeks ago in Austria in the form of Juan Montoya and run with it. They led 2 weeks ago in Austria in the form of Juan Montoya, but it came to nothing. He is leading today, and at the moment he really is looking very strong. But Michael Schumacher and Ralf Schumacher are locked in a great scrap behind them.
Yes, and a very... That's Coulthard, who's running 6th. Alonso behind him, truly just in front of him. Renault's making a bit of a... Michael Schumacher doesn't seem to have an answer at this stage of the Grand Prix.
No, it's an interesting race, this, because the second stint has been completely different from the first. I mean, it couldn't be a more different situation. Ralf Schumacher was leading the first stint. More or less everybody was on the same pace. It was cat and mouse and a question of when are they going... 1:14.978. That's a very, very quick lap. That is very close to 100 miles an hour average speed. And Montoya Raikkonen, as you say, Martin, picking up the ball and running with it. Michael Schumacher, I think, himself now, because he's down in 6th place, when really he could be up there with Montoya and Raikkonen.
Yeah, certainly compromised his weekend. Not quite sure why how they managed to talk themselves into change. Jenson Button didn't start the Grand Prix. There then is 5th place truly. You're on board. Kimi Raikkonen, this could be race-winning performance here. It's going to be very close because it was a solid pit stop from the Williams team.
Well, he's got Villeneuve coming into view. He's lapping in the mid, catching him really before his pit stop, ideally, if they can bring him in shortly. But he needs the laps in order to open up the...
So he was pushing extremely hard. But Jordan, he should, if he can clearly fighting tooth and nail for this Grand Prix victory this afternoon. Montoya and Raikkonen.
Well, we've seen some fantastic scraps between them on the racetrack last year. Hungary, Hockenheim, wheel to wheel, no holes barred, no quarter taken or given. They pushed each other onto the grass, they raced each other tooth and nail, and we're looking forward to a lot more of that in the years to come. Today it's more tactical, it's more psychological, but it's just as intense.
And it does a 15.7 at the same time as Raikkonen's done a 1:14.7. So there's another second of that lead gone. Remember, it was 3.9 seconds then when...
Monaco Grand Prix, 50th time it's been run to Formula 1 regulations, but the 61st time it's been run on these historic streets.
Yes, and another thing to watch out for, there's Ralf still locking up with a little bit of crossweight in the car. Does he? Oh, he may have to reverse out of there. Ralf Schumacher.
The pace that Raikkonen and Montoya were turning in when they were driving away from the rest of the field. Where was the pace for Michael there?
Top 4 teams have 0 reliability issues. You're not going to score a point.
Big car park going up the back straight there. Coulthard in the middle of that as well. Oh, how close did they come to touching wheels? Good friends, David Coulthard and Jacques Villeneuve, but very experienced racers as well. And there was a neat bit of avoidance there by Coulthard. He's been really the meat in a Renault sandwich for certainly the second.
Monaco.
Yeah, I've been down in that pit lane many times over the last few years, over the last many years. Coulthard's attacking though. Montoya, having lost out to him through the second round of pit stop, really looking very good indeed on Thursday. Jenson Buttons was extremely fast again on Saturday as well, and obviously he had a crash Saturday morning, which a counted for him. But to go away from here, having looked so promising through free practice with just a Villeneuve P10 is very, very slim reward, isn't it?
Yeah, and a bag of bits from Jenson Buttons.
The fuel worth, that's for sure. Anyway, he's in the pits, and he should be able to stop again, but it's going to be very interesting to see how he plays out, as Barrichello also got ahead of Michael Schumacher. I'm sure this guy here, Ron Dennis, his team boss, would very much want that.
We're hearing they may have only just changed one end on the tyres. Didn't see it, didn't notice that myself, but from down in the pit lane, which may have helped them do that extra fast stop. Raikkonen looking at the opportunity there to win a Grand Prix. Just got to get ahead of that car in front of him. He's going to win the Monaco Grand Prix. How good would that be for him? But, remember, they used to pull these things apart to the early hours of the morning on Saturday night, put them back together again, drive them to the grid, touch them, and we've seen tremendous reliability from the top teams especially. 14 runners still.
And as you said, tremendous standard of driving as well. I mean, the start was exemplary, Martin.
Yeah, it always fascinates me where McLaren get that data from to be able to say exactly where all the other cars are at any one time.